Welcome everyone to AmpliFire. Here's why I'm excited about today's event. It's kind of funny, every fortnight my grandparents ask me what I do for a living. They do understand I kind of bring awareness towards a certain product and technology, but it's the ramifications of the technology they do not understand. For my parents is slightly different. However, they still tell their friends I work for Bitcoin or something like that. On a serious note, I'm aware that most of you here today already do grasp the concept of blockchain. But my question for you is, how many are fully focused on it? How many are quitting their jobs to start a blockchain or blockchain application? And how many are studying it? There's definitely a gap there. And Lisk aims to bridge that gap. Lisk provides the tools to build something meaningful, something life-changing, as our co-founder likes to say. But why Lisk? And why not other ecosystems with a higher market capitalization, for instance? You see, we often think of these other platforms, such as Cosmos and Polkadot, as perceived competitors. And that is because we believe that in the future, all blockchains and blockchain applications will be somewhat connected. And that we call interoperability. And in that world, Lisk has the word to say. Now I'm going to welcome on stage head of marketing at Lisk to give you a bit more insight into this event's agenda. So welcome, Monica.
Thank you, Miguel, and welcome to AmpliFire. Thank you very much for tuning in, and for those of you who actually made it to Berlin, thank you. We really appreciate your dedication and your continued support. As Miguel said, today's event is all about bringing awareness towards Lisk, exploring and defining Lisk and its value. Today, we are going to present the case of Lisk. We are going to reward great blockchain applications built with Lisk SDK. We are going to look in the past to everything we achieved so far. And most importantly, we are looking towards the future and why you should be excited. Before we get started, I would like to remind everyone of our ongoing giveaway, which is in collaboration with Ledger. So if you are interested, make sure to check it out. The competition ends tonight. You don't want to miss the chance to win. Now, before we jump into the agenda, I would like to look back. I would like to play a video and to travel a bit in time.
Tonight, our end-of-year event AmpliFire is happening, and before we're going to the event location, I would like to show you a few places which played a significant role in Lisk's history. So let's travel back in time and just check those places out to see where it all began. For the first time ever, we are speaking to a general audience like a crypto enthusiast or an investor. So the entire event has a different angle this time around, where we are trying to explain the vision behind the Lisk project. Where are we going to be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now? And what do we want to achieve in this world? What kind of impact do we want to make with the project we're working on every single day and putting our blood and sweat into? We're here at WeWork Sony Center, our first office, and it feels kind of weird to be back here again. but I'm excited to show you around. Let's go. We moved to Berlin in 2016 and I was just 24 years old at that time. And it felt really good to, well, push things forward with Lisk by starting an office, by opening up an office here in Berlin. In 2017, our very first employee joined, and it was a bit of a funny sensation to welcome him to the office. It was something I never did before, but quickly, the more people joined, it started to feel good to come in the morning hours and then slowly see the team coming into the office. And even though we just started with a very small 2-people office here at WeWork, we month by month just added more offices because, well, that was the great thing here. It was so flexible. We were able to move to bigger offices, add additional offices. So we pretty much moved around the entire building here from office to office to office as the team was growing. And at one point, it was super funny, we had the best office of the building with a beautiful view over Berlin, over the Tiergarten here, with everything being green in the summertime. And, well, us being all nerdy, techie developers, we didn't like the sun. So what we did, we bought black curtains and put it all around the windows so that people were able to see the screens better and were not blinded by the sun. And that was for me a super funny moment and just showed that crypto and blockchain is extraordinary. Everyone working in it is very special, you know. Nowadays we look at different use cases like decentralized exchanges, NFTs, oracles, collectibles, use cases out of GameFi and DeFi. But back then we didn't really know what blockchain technology could be used for. And that was also one of the reasons why we started Lisk, because we thought experimentation is extremely important. And providing developers with the tools to just start experimenting and building stuff, we thought would be a great start to just see where all this technology can be leveraged for. So we are building the Lisk blockchain application platform with the ultimate goal of bringing people the benefits of blockchain. By enabling developers to build just any kind of blockchain application, just any kind of use case leveraging blockchain technology, and offering users a platform where they can easily access those, we believe that we can really make an impact in this world. People had very big doubts about where this is even going to. People weren't sure that blockchain is here to stay. People didn't know what it could be used for. And that was really tough on us and on the team. We were sailing new waters. We were entering new territories. We were pioneers of a new technology. No one really knew what to do with. After our very successful ICO, we saw a multitude of projects popping up and doing the same. And if I compare the crypto landscape today and back in 2016, it makes me very proud to see that we are still here building every day, while many projects from back then just disappeared.
Okay, welcome everyone. First of all, today is a very special meetup. Why? Because we have, I think, 2 ambassadors here and I think 3, 4, 5 delegates, I don't know. So really special, big crowd and many important people from the Lisk economy. So awesome. So
I love how we're wearing the Lisk vintage shirt. Super funny to see. And me just being in shorts, much shorter hair. Just a totally different being. With the knowledge I have today, I probably wouldn't have had so many meetups. I wouldn't go to so many events because I really learned that having a product is key. And everyone was hyped, the price did a 10x, the entire crypto industry got a lot of exposure because everything went up, but any crypto project didn't really have a product at that time. Like, everything was so new, everything was so immature and at the very beginning. And still we did these meetups, people came, it was a really like close community at that time actually. Like, we did them from month to month to month and it was often the same people, but they were really, really interested in what we had to say. And of course, like, at that time we didn't have a product. This is all part of the process. And nowadays we can stand with so much more confidence on the stage because, well, we have the Lisk SDK, which enables developers to build blockchain applications extremely fast and simple. Obviously, we're in a complete different world now. The crypto industry also discovered various use cases for blockchain technology, like out of DeFi or GameFi. And back then, we actually had no clue what to use this stuff for, besides just sending crypto assets from A to B.
It feels incredible. It's just like my dream comes true, and I just love my life right now. It makes so much fun to work on this project.
Wow, the Lisk relaunch event. That was truly a historic moment for Lisk. We put so much work into making that happen with the entire team for weeks and weeks. And it ended up in being this huge event where 500 people from all over the world came to Berlin to see what? Just our new logo and branding. And for me at that time, it felt surreal because, like, who travels all over the world just to see a new logo? But it also showed something. It showed that the Lisk project is more than just a startup or a cryptocurrency. It is a community where people are coming together to build the future of finance, the future of trustless, decentralized applications. And I loved my life back then, and nowadays I love it even more because I see that all the efforts we have put in over the years came to, well, this moment, to a moment where we're shortly before launching our Lisk blockchain application platform in 2022. So all the hard work just was worth it, you know? We largely disappeared from the landscape because we felt it's time to build. We felt we need to provide our community with utility and with use cases. So that's why AmpliFire is the moment everyone has been waiting for, because it signals, like a signal fire essentially, the moment where we are stepping out into the light again, where we get loud about Lisk, where we are telling the world what we have built and where this is all leading towards. And for the first time since a long time, we are addressing the general crypto audience. The Lisk project steps out of the building phase into a production-ready phase. That means the Lisk blockchain application platform is launching. People are able to use blockchain applications on our platform, which were developed with the Lisk SDK. And this is the implementation of our original vision of delivering this blockchain application platform. And that's why it's time to reimagine what Lisk is, to redefine where we are going to with this project. And that's what we are presenting here today at AmpliFire. We are going to amplify the original Lisk vision and make it even greater. It's time to think big. It's time to make Lisk sustainable so that it can survive us all. That's why it's time for us to really think where to go from here, to really take the step further and get uniqueness back into the Lisk project. And that's where the new Lisk vision comes into play. At the end of today's event, I will present you the ultimate Lisk vision, our long-term goal where all our efforts will peak into. And it's more about just building a platform. It's about inspiring people and enabling them to be part of this entire movement crypto is. Lisk always had interoperability at its heart, connecting different blockchains together, connecting them with each others in order to facilitate trustless and decentralized token transfers and data transfer. I foresee, in order to make blockchain truly mainstream, we have to connect all the blockchain ecosystems with each other. And that's where Lisk really plays a key role in the future. At the end of today's event, I will tell you how Lisk is going to onboard 100 million people into crypto and Web3. I'm getting quite hungry now, so before we continue with our journey, let's go to my favorite restaurant nearby, where I was eating nearly every day when we still had our office here. So let's come with me and grab some food. Is my favorite soup ever. I was eating it back then nearly every day. Caused me to never fall sick, so I actually was able to go the entire winter hard, just working all the time without getting any illnesses. And there was one thing the lady at the restaurant always told me, that essentially the beef symbolizes like coldness, and that's why you always have to put ginger into your pho, because ginger represents hotness, and you always have to bring cold and hot together like yin and yang, and it was always fascinating. So I told everyone in the team the story, and everyone thought I'm crazy. This was delicious. So before we head to the event location, let's make one more stop at the Lisk Center Berlin. So this is the Lisk Center Berlin, a place dedicated to building. And we have envisioned like a physical location here in the heart of Berlin to grow and foster a community of crypto enthusiasts. And that's exactly what this space is looking forward to be. A place where meetups can happen, where people can come for workshops and for onboarding sessions into the Lisk ecosystem. And right next to it is actually also our main office, where we scaled up the team from, just a few people at the Sony Center to now nearly 40 people. So having this dedicated space for the team, but also for the community to indulge themselves into various Lisk topics is extremely beneficial, because we are living, in a real world, but crypto is something you cannot really touch. It's purely digital. And having such a physical location helps us to bring this digital aspect into the real world. We also think that crypto communities are extremely important to build. So having such a space like the Lisk Center Berlin helps us in connecting better to people. So that's the Lisk Center Berlin. And actually, it's time for me to head over to the AmpliFire event location. So let's go.
Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome also from me to the AmpliFire event. Thank you, Monica and Miguel, for opening up the event. Trust me, this was like
a first for us to do such a video. Maybe it ended up a bit long, but we wanted to show you the real and the full version because it really symbolizes where we're coming from, how we felt at that time, and yeah, we liked the outcome, so we thought we'd show you the whole thing. So let's talk about the case for Lisk, or maybe to phrase it a little bit different, why Lisk? Why do we exist? What are we doing? What's our purpose in this world? And for that, I would like to show you a few logos of companies and ask you, what do these companies have in common? Meta, which recently rebranded from Facebook, Alphabet, or you might know it as Google, Microsoft, Apple. What are they all doing right now? Well, some of you might guess it. Exactly. They are focusing on the metaverse. They build or invest in AR, augmented reality, VR, virtual reality, MR, mixed reality, or XR, extended reality. They're building hardware, they're developing software, and they're really betting big on it. And if I would have to explain what the metaverse is, then I would say, well, we are living in a real physical world. And the metaverse is a digital layer you can put on top of it, which augments it in order to create somewhat of a new digital reality. That's at least my definition. We will see later a few other definitions of the metaverse. But it somewhat means that the metaverse is somehow becoming this new reality. And I think there's nothing bigger than that. There's nothing bigger than, well, the reality is there. And it will be massive. It will be everywhere, I think. So let's take a look at an official definition from, well, our most trustworthy resource, Wikipedia. So the metaverse is, to just repeat the definition here, an iteration of the internet supporting persistent online virtual environments through conventional personal computing, as well as virtual and augmented reality headsets. The later part you see, while these big companies are focusing also on the hardware part of it, like Meta with Oculus, or Google putting huge investments into Magic Leap. But I would like to focus on the first part, on the iteration of the internet, on the what comes after the internet. What's the next step for us in this world? And for that, I would like to first take a look at the evolution of the internet with the Web 1.0, or the World Wide Web. Back in time before I was born. It was mainly there to view information online, to access information in a more efficient and faster way. And it took quite a long time to, well, discover the next step, to build the technologies to enable that, to allow social interactions on the internet, which we called Web 2.0. And nowadays, everyone is talking about the Web 3.0, or how most actually call it the Web 3. And what's that about? What are we all, well, at least at Lisk, working on to make reality? I think the Web 3 is really about ownership. The ability to own digital things and to transfer them to someone else. And, well, what can you own? You can own objects, money, everything what has a value. And, well, you're probably all familiar with blockchain, so that probably rings a bell. Exactly, the Web 3 is being built with blockchain technology. And it's already happening today. Like, there are many, many use cases out there which you could contribute or delegate to being Web 3 applications. And for that, first, because I don't know how much you know about blockchain, I would like to show you a video we made actually for the Lisk Center Berlin, a common space for all Liskers and blockchain enthusiasts here in Berlin to meet and to discuss blockchain technology together with, which we're representing in the hallway there. So I hope next year we will open up that Lisk Center Berlin and you will have like your own experience of the space. But that's why there's no voice layover, it's all text only. You don't have to hear me talking again in the video, so let's play the video, and then we're all on a common denominator, what blockchain actually is. That's what a blockchain is. And you might notice simple terminology in between. We kept out many details. We're really trying to speak to people who are not that technical with this video to really get a first understanding what a blockchain is. And with Lisk, you can build your own blockchain. And there were three main attributes of a blockchain. It's decentralized, it's trustless, and it's transparent. There are probably a few more, but I think it's a very good start to educate more people about blockchain. Let's take a look at the definition again. So it says it's an iteration of the internet. I just showed you how the internet evolved with these buzzwords, World Wide Web, Web 2.0, Web 3. And well, looking at that, the metaverse is an iteration of that and will form this new reality. I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm a bit crazy. Should I maybe look out for other people, what they have to say? And I picked my favorite modern philosopher, Naval, and he says essentially that blockchains are the governments of the metaverse. And well, governments, what are they doing? They're making decisions, they're defining the law, they're making money happen, essentially. So I think blockchains are kind of the decision and the value layer of the metaverse. And it seems like all these big companies are going all in. And it seems like blockchains actually play a significant role in making this metaverse future a reality. And well, that's kind of the case for blockchain, why a blockchain actually makes sense to build or to exist in the first place. But what role does Lisk play now in this whole scheme? And like, where do we take it from there? For that, well, first of all, you probably heard it already, we need to make it possible for developers to actually develop blockchain applications. Because if they can't develop anything, then it will never become a reality. So that's where the Lisk SDK comes into play, which enables developers to develop blockchain applications simple and fast, in my opinion, simpler and faster than anywhere else. And giving them total freedom and unlimited power. It's extremely flexible. You can do whatever you want with it. And it comes in a very popular programming language, which some people might think, okay, why we picked that? But according to us, it's really like making a difference, and we see this every day in the community, that people really want to use our tools because we're using JavaScript. And well, that's what we're focusing on with the Lisk SDK. But only developing it is not the only solution to the problem. We also need to be able to provide users a platform where they can use it, where they can use these blockchain applications developed with the Lisk SDK. And we're doing this because we really wanted people to start benefiting from this technology. So that's where the Lisk platform comes into play, a place where you can really use blockchain applications developed with the Lisk SDK. So that leads me to our first reason to exist, how I call it. Lisk enables everyone to develop or use blockchain applications. That's our main thing, essentially. But now I would like to take a look at another definition of the metaverse, which this time comes from a blockchain perspective from CoinDesk. And they say the metaverse is a massively scaled and interoperable network of virtual worlds which can be experienced by an effectively unlimited number of users and with continuity of data, such as identity, history, entitlements, objects, and payments. The later part somehow really refers to blockchain, like identity could be a blockchain address. History is the actual blockchain ledger. Entitlements could be ownership on the blockchain, objects, NFTs, and payments token. But I would also like to put a focus on the beginning, a massively scaled network. But herein lies a problem. Existing blockchain applications cannot massively scale today. And why is that? Because today's standard to develop blockchain applications is with smart contracts, where the blockchain applications functionalities are developed in those smart contracts, and they're deployed on top or within an existing blockchain. Let's say, for example, in Ethereum. And there's this theory by Union Square Ventures of a thin application and a fat protocol layer, which, attracted quite a bit of attention in the last few years. And, well, that essentially means that you have one fat protocol, in this case, let's say the Ethereum blockchain, and many, many applications built on top of that, which also have to run on that blockchain. And in my opinion, many blockchain applications on one blockchain is not scalable. It's just not working. And that's where I think in the future, the standard to develop blockchain applications has to change towards something I call a protocol native solution. We're still trying to figure out how to call that. But essentially where blockchain applications functionalities are developed within the protocol itself of a new blockchain. Exactly what happens with Lisk and the Lisk SDK. So that you have many distinct blockchains, and on each runs one blockchain application. So one blockchain application on one blockchain. And I think this is scalable. To make our second reason to exist, well, it is that Lisk solves kind of the scalability problem of blockchain applications. Let's go back to the definition, because it also states that a metaverse is essentially also an interoperable network. We heard that term already today. Miguel mentioned it once, and I think I probably said it a few times in the video. But what is interoperable? What means interoperability? It essentially means that, let's say in terms of networks, they can communicate with each other or exchange information. In case of interoperable blockchains, it means that, for example, you could transfer a token from one blockchain to the other. And well, the definition here, according to CoinDesk, says the metaverse will be interoperable. But well, herein lies another problem. Existing blockchain applications are not interoperable. We just are at the beginning of this whole thing. But they are not interoperable because they never had to be. Because if we are looking at the current standard with smart contracts, they were all developed on the same network, on the same blockchain, on one single blockchain. And that's where they don't need to have interoperable networks, because like I said, it's on the same network. But in my opinion, that's really not the way to go. That's not how we can achieve scalability.
So that's where we have this other form which I talked about, this protocol native, how we called it, method. And here we really have different blockchains. We have really different networks. And this means this method here requires to provide interoperability between all these networks. Because, like I said, it's really necessary to split it, to divide and conquer the traffic in order to reach scalability. And why do you want them to be connected? Well, I think blockchain applications have many symbiotic relationships. You could have, for example, a gaming blockchain where you have a token which you want to exchange for another token. So the decentralized exchange on which this can happen is actually on another blockchain, but you need them to communicate with each other. So you can send the one token to from this one blockchain to the other blockchain. So interoperability is extremely important for these symbiotic relationships. And we see that with the composability of blockchains, it can become really powerful what is actually possible with these blockchain applications in the future, thanks to interoperability then. And that's why we're putting such a big focus on that. And this year in May, we published the entire research of us about the Lisk interoperability solution on the Lisk.js 2021 event. And, well, we were really, really proud of what was achieved there. We really like what we came up with in order to solve this problem. And, well, it's in development right now and will peak with the platform launch next year. But more about that later from Shu and Manu, our heads of development. But essentially, then, the Lisk platform will have the Lisk blockchain at its centerpiece and many blockchain applications around it. And just to introduce some technical terminology here. So if we're speaking about the Lisk blockchain, we really mean or we can call it also a Lisk main chain. And all these blockchain applications, because they are native on their own blockchain, we call them side chains because they're on the side. It's like a side blockchain. Just that you heard these words because they come up later again. But that's not where it stops, because Miguel mentioned already about our competitors that, well, the end goal is actually to be connected to everything, to be interoperable to all kinds of blockchain application or smart contract platforms. And that's where we're currently researching blockchain interoperability, a solution which really connects us to any other blockchain application platform. And, well, it's in research right now, and you will hear more about that later from Jan, our head of research, and of course, next year. And that's how it would then look like, the Lisk platform essentially in the middle with the Lisk blockchain or main chain and the many sidechains around that. And then connected to various ecosystems, for example, Ethereum, Cosmos, and so on. Here, these are just candidates. We are in the middle of the research. We have to see what is actually feasible, but also what makes sense from a business perspective to connect to first. However, to make another big statement and to give you the third reason to exist, it's that Lisk solves the interoperability problem of blockchain applications. Something where I said we have to solve it because in order to solve the scalability problem, we have to divide the transaction load onto many different blockchains. So what is the case for Lisk? Well, Lisk enables developers to develop and users to use scalable and interoperable blockchain applications. That's our whole thing. And for that, I would really like to show you a 2-year-old video from the Lisk relaunch event. And it's quite epic, so enjoy.
Have you ever realized how little we actually know? Think about it. Every day, we buy products without really knowing how they're produced. We have the most advanced justice system in human history, but still face fraud and corruption. Medical discoveries happen every day, but in a serious emergency, our medical records are still hard to access. Smart homes are on the horizon, but can we really trust them? In this age of information, we have sacrificed our privacy. We have no clue what is happening with our personal data.
This is where we are today, but progress is already happening in the form of a technology with revolutionary potential. Lisk's blockchain technology.
Imagine applications that tackle our society's challenges piece by piece. When you buy something, you know exactly where it came from, what it contains, and how it got to you. You will be able to make emerging technology trustworthy. We could reduce corruption by bringing transparency into our world. When you need it most, you will be able to share your medical records in an instant, safely and securely. And finally, you become the one and only owner of your personal data. To accelerate this innovation, we created Lisk, a blockchain application platform that enables you to easily create and distribute your own blockchain applications. Access the power of blockchain. Lisk.
That was the video. I think still stands today. And everything we're working on is governed by the Lisk Foundation we established in 2016. And why is that? Because, of course, everything we're doing has to be done with regulation and transparency in mind. And that's why we established this non-profit entity based in Switzerland. And the Lisk Foundation is supporting developers from our community to build blockchain applications on the Lisk platform. Like, we have the Lisk Grant Program with a total of $1.3 million in grants for these developers from our community to build blockchain applications with the Lisk SDK. And I would like to mention 4 very interesting ones, of which some of them also are here today and will enter the stage, so it will get quite busy. There's Kalipo, there is DoEdu, enevti, and Colecti. Kalipo is a decentralized autonomous organization. DoEdu is an education platform, and Colecti and enevti are doing something with NFTs. So for that, I would like to welcome the first community speaker to the stage. Peter, please come to the stage.
Thank you. Check if the sound is working. It does. We had some problems in translating my input files to the overall presentation, but I managed to do it this way, so some animation is lost. As Max said, it is time to connect blockchain to users, and one of the very interesting, exciting group of applications, a part of NFTs and DeFi, we think is DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. And we think the Lisk platform deserves its own DAO platform with which you can build and connect your own DAO and raise your own DAO and manage your own community. And a short introduction of myself. I'm here on behalf of Kalipo. I also raised together with our group of experts. We call them the DAO Hub, experts from different fields, from economics, from politics, from technical background, different kind of people thinking together with us how we can have this endeavor and find out, do research on everything exciting which is possible. Excuse me, I have a little cough, which is possible with technology and within the field of DAOs. We also have a connection with the European Union. They have a unit on digital transformation, and they are very interested in our solution and our ideas, how small businesses can be supported by DAOs and how DAOs can be connected to each other to make a kind of platform and a business space. Excuse me. I'm also a lecturer at the University of Applied Science in Utrecht, so I'm doing a lot of research and building proof of concepts with students. So here's here the animation got lost, so you got a lot of information at once. But what it says, we envision a platform with building blocks to establish your own decentralized organization within a few clicks. And at the core, it is member managed. And the members of your community, of your team, you are the master of your own company, your own distributed company. And we are now in the phase of building voting mechanisms and building functionality with which you can do proposals, the members can vote, And then you can even allocate some tokens from a treasury to the proposal. And then you see a lot of other another functionality which we envision and we do research on. And perhaps the one I very much like is constitution management. How can you, as a community, define your own rules by which your community and the smart contracts will operate? So we are very glad to be on the same endeavor as the Lisk project, and finding out what's possible and connecting the blockchain technology to the end users, and especially the teams in the Lisk ecosystem. And we think that this ecosystem deserves his own DAO functionality, by which teams can manage themselves, and perhaps by which the whole community can connect. So we are very excited to be on the same endeavor, and we hope to have a lot of success and make next steps together. Okay, and I think now there's a kind of more commercial pitch about our product. Yes.
We have all been part of online communities, project teams, and other kinds of collaborations. And our main challenge is, how might we keep our goals and focus aligned and smoothly together? Due to the current world situation, where more collaborations are happening online, it becomes even more relevant to explore new ways of organizing. What's missing is the right tooling. Kalipo, a DAO platform as a solution. A DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, enables you to manage your organization remotely, decentralized in an efficient and effective manner. Kalipo is the platform where you can start your own DAO with a few clicks. With the right tools, helpful insights, and pre-made templates, we support you during your entire journey. Kalipo. Powered by Lisk.
Super cool. I wish you all the best, Peter, and amazing to have you in the Lisk community. Next one up is Nazar with DoEdu. Please welcome and welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, I'm very glad to be here, and thanks to the Lisk team to invite us and share our product idea here on this stage. So, DoEdu is a product which is related to the education industry and bringing the education technology to the blockchain domain. And we had been observing a lot in the education industry that there are some problems getting through, and the existing platforms which are powering the education industry is not like focusing on those. And the biggest challenge was, one of them I have mentioned here, like is a motivational feature which is missing in the educational industry. There is no incentivization for the people who are trying to study or educate themselves. There is a self-motivation, but incentivization is missing. There is no on-chain implementation of the education industry, so we are missing the transparency about it. And there is a lack of charity and the donorship about the education industry, which is currently not available. So considering these problems, we analyzed the market a bit, and we found that there are around 18% is a growth, capital annual growth in the education industry in the last 2020 to 2024, which is projecting. And from 34% is just in the Asia Pacific. And if I try to summarize all those things together, so in the last 2 decades, we can observe that the online education industry has almost 900% growth. And only within 2021, 70% of the world population which somehow been connected to the online services were using the online education platforms in sort of any Coursera or even Facebook, but they were using these platforms for the education. And we are projecting that like in 2025, this online education industry will be around $450 billion. And considering this market analysis, we have to provide some interesting solution, and we thought of it, DoEdu. And within the DoEdu, we have our vision to bring this education industry to on-chain, so we can have an incentivization with the transparency. We can focus on bringing more funds to the education industry. In the last 1 or 2 years, people have been talking a lot about the liquidity pools, where they are investing a lot in the liquidity to earn the yield. But we want to bring the same idea towards the education industry, so people can pool about education and bring some of the revenue and the capital in this industry. So this is our vision, and based on this vision and related to the blockchain, we are going to present our token DoEdu, and this token will be fiat convertible stable coin developed on the Lisk ecosystem, and it will be a native currency for the platform, whether you want to buy an education material, whether you want to buy sponsor someone else's education, so you are going to use this native token. And we are going to provide the educational pools as well, where different organizations can fund the education topics. Let's say someone wants to educate, Lisk Foundation wants to fund educational pool for the people who want to study the Lisk ecosystem, so they can create a pool of there and then fund it there. And we are going to introduce the NFTs for different certificates, achievements, and intellectual property rights, because these are the most equivalent for on-chain integrities for these topics. And the top features that we will be presenting in our MVP is private locked price. So someone can lock a price for you that once you complete a course, that locked price will automatically be unlocked and given to you. And there will be public lock price. Some organizations like Lisk or someone else can lock a particular price for educational material, and as soon as people complete those courses, those educational materials will unlock those prices. And additionally, we have the educational pools, and then we're going to provide the feature for tipping the content creators, and there will be premium content as well, so you can buy on there, and so that it can encourage people to create more content. And we have this timeline. We envision the product in 2022, and in mid next year we are going to launch our MVP. And at the end of 2022, we are focused on content gathering, content creation. We're going to talk to different content creators to get them on the board to develop some content related to the education industry. And in the next 2023, we're going to grow more features, grow beyond the MVP features, and bring more content to the market. And in 2024, we are projecting a bit of a profitability in this project idea. And now I'm going to present some demo video about the product MVP, and yeah, enjoy it.
seems like you can nearly already release that MVP. But no wonder, Nazar was a former senior backend developer at the Lisk HQ, and very happy that you chose to stay in the Lisk community and build your passion as a Lisk blockchain application. Next one up is Colecti and Yuri.
Thank you. Hello. Thanks for being here. Really good to be here in Berlin. It's been 2 years, I think. And a quick pitch about what we would like to do with Colecti. With Colecti, we are building an NFT marketplace where you can buy and sell or exchange NFTs. We also provide the possibility to create NFTs or create whole collections of NFTs. And in addition to that, we would like to offer a curated market. With that curated market, we would like to lower the barrier for established companies to actually start experimenting with NFTs where this is applicable. With this value proposition, or should I call it like that, we would like to, or we have the ambition to bridge the gap between the crypto space and also established organizations, at least to let them start experimenting with it. So within the Lisk ecosystem, we would like to be the place where all NFTs can be collected and exchanged, and even bridge the gap to outwards the Lisk ecosystem into the real world. But we cannot do that alone. So therefore, we are currently with 3 developers, also known as the Musi team. We actually have attracted another developer, and we have a new business manager that has much more experience with business collaborations that also will start working on Colecti. But that will not be enough. We probably need a lot of people in addition to that. Like Lisk needs their Lisk community, we also need the Lisk community to make this a success. So we would like to invite you to help us make a success out of Colecti and help us be an ambassador for this project to make it happen, to be the bridge within the Lisk ecosystem and outward. I cannot find a word for that one, but you know what I mean. So therefore, we made a little pitch video, which might start right now.
Super cool. For those of you who not know Jure, this guy is an absolutely amazing guy. He and his team, they're working on so many things within the Lisk ecosystem. It's crazy. They're the Musi team working on the Lisk Scan blockchain explorer, which brought us already Halloween NFTs, and with this event also special Lisk AmpliFire NFTs as well, which everyone attending can claim, but there's also much more, I guess, for the community to look forward to. But that's not all. They're also doing the Lisk Center Utrecht, a place similar to the Lisk Center Berlin, to grow and foster a community in the Netherlands. So really my deepest respect and gratitude towards the entire team. You guys are amazing, and thanks for being in the Lisk community. I think you're our, I don't know how many leg, really good work there. Next one up is enevti. Enevti is a project which was developed by Aldo, and he is from Indonesia, and it was not possible for us to get a visa for him. He wanted to come, we had everything sorted out, but he just wasn't able to come at the end due to the very terrible situation we are facing here in Germany right now. However, enevti is an NFT blockchain application to, well, build authentic relationships between influencers and their fans. And, well, they're using blockchain technology for it in order to, well, facilitate all of that. He worked on a video, which I would like to show you now, in order to understand better what enevti is working on.
Hi, I'm William Sudana, co-founder of Home for Creators. For years, we've been living in an attention economy. Creators are very dependent towards the brand who can sponsor them to make a living. But in creators economy, it allows creators to be more independent, so they can sell digital products, including the recent hype of NFT, which is give more appreciation toward digital artworks and also supported by sustainable royalty and ownership together with enevti.com. We are aiming to bring more education and literacy to our community of creators so they understand that NFT is not only temporary hype but an effective tool with real-world utility, so they are able to push into creators economy with the power of NFT, and we are very excited for this collaboration together.
Hi, my name is Nindito. I am an illustrator from Indonesia. Throughout my career, I've been humbled by the opportunity to work with great brands and fellow artists such as Netflix, Paramount Picture, Heineken, and Aurora. I'm really hopeful to see NFT artwork can be accepted to a wider audience with a variety of use cases. I have great expectation in the ambassador program to have better exposure and foster a supportive community. I think NFT utility is a crucial part that needs to be developed because it opens up so much opportunity.
enevti.com.
The next evolution of NFT.
Aldo, the person behind that project, also worked on a blockchain application in our developer program before we had the grant program, like some time ago, the so-called Lisk Builders program. And it was the ¡1 application because he developed, like, I think, 18 custom transactions at that time into this blockchain application. So it was a gigantic app. He stepped a bit into the background in this video, but really he is a very talented developer and super good to have him also in the Lisk community. Talking about the Lisk community and, well, developing blockchain applications, I would like to introduce Miguel back to the stage, who will talk now about Hack on Lisk 2.
Thank you very much, Max, and thank you, NFT. Now, as some of you might know, today we're also awarding prizes for Hack on Lisk 2. But before we do that, like I said in the beginning, Lisk is trying to provide tools to build something meaningful. But we also want people to have fun and to build unique concepts and exciting experiences. And for that, we think Hack on Lisk to be the best opportunity and experience to experiment with the Lisk SDK. And for Hack on Lisk 2, we made significant progress. We remained on DevPost platform, considered to be the home for hackathons. However, we made it easier for people to find teams. We gave them more time to build. We decided to revamp completely the categories and to increase the prize pool, something we want to do further, moving into 2022 and beyond. Now, for the categories themselves, we decided to focus on DeFi and GameFi. And none of this could have been possible without our partners and judging panel, including the likes of Binance, We Are Developers, Salesforce, Lightcurve, CoinPost Japan, Waxman, BTC Eco, and Digital Asset Management. So now, before giving the awards, let's have an overview of that. So for DeFi, we have one main prize, and that is the DeFi award of $10,000 paid in LSK tokens. We also have a DeFi bonus prize, which consists of $4,000, and that is the Community Choice Award. For GameFi, it's slightly different. We have 3 main prizes, first, second, and third, and also Community Choice Award and 2 partner prizes. Applicants can also expect some non-monetary prizes, and that includes Lisk merchandise, further promotion of the projects, further support to take their projects to the next level, and also an opportunity to receive further funding through the grant program. We're happy to say that we received over 200 submissions, of which we selected 5. 3 for GameFi and 2 for DeFi. And if you're interested, you can check out on YouTube their demos. So now, for the first award of tonight, that is the Community Choice Award. And the Community Choice Award for DeFi, consisting of $4,000 US paid in LSK. Well, the award goes to Piggy Bank by Anonimovo. By Anonimovo, who could not be here today, but we're very happy to give him this award. So congrats. Now, the Community Choice Award for GameFi, which consists of $2,000 US also paid in LSK tokens. And this award goes to Doom on Lisk by Ultrafresh and Superfly. Congratulations. And now we move on to the partner awards. And for the first partner award, we're very proud to have here a representative from Binance who will give out this award. So, welcome, Roy.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the introduction as well. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm here to announce one of the awards. So at Binance, one of the main goals is to achieve mass market penetration. So we've got 2 sides that are very important to us. One is the marketing side, which I'm responsible for. But then on the other hand, we have the building and development side. So I'm here to show my gratitude for all the developers to make my job as well possible. So for Binance, we want to choose for an idea that in our mind is easy to understand for everyone. Simplicity is key, and we think that Real Invaders achieves that goal. It's an open source, decentralized gambling platform. They have slot machines, really easy, understandable, and very cool for the future. We really hope to achieve much in this blockchain industry and keep on building for a better future. Thanks, guys.
Totally. Thank you, Roy, and thank you, Binance. Now for the second partner award, that is for DappRaider. Well, unfortunately, the representative could not be here today, so I'll be giving out this award as well. And so the partner award for, in this case, by DappRaider is Dungeons and Battles. So congratulations, Lammy, for taking home $2,000, also paid in LSK tokens. We now move on to one of the most important prizes of tonight, and that is the DeFi Award. We're very happy to give this award, the first prize, consisting of $10,000. The winner of the DeFi prize goes to Piggy Bank. Second one tonight. Super happy to see and super happy to give you this award to Anonimovo, who's been a part of the community for so long. All right, now we move on to the GameFi Awards. Like I said, there's 3 prizes for this section, so bear with me. Now the first one is the third prize, which consists of $6,000. And the third place GameFi winner is Doom on Lisk. Congratulations once again. Now we move on to the second place winner for GameFi. And to win $8,000, we would like to congratulate Real Invaders and Corbin. Now, the person who built Real Invaders is actually here with us in the venue, so I would like to welcome him on stage to speak a few words on the project. So welcome, Corbin.
Yes, thank you. I'm very happy to have won these prizes, so thanks. My name is Jacco. I'm from the Netherlands, and I've been a part of the Lisk community for several years now. So I'm very excited to be here and to also learn more about Lisk's future. And as I work more with blockchain, I realized that technology can be applied in many fields and also take humanity a step further. So I've recently decided to go all the way and spend my days working full-time on blockchain and Lisk. Thank you. So Lisk allows developers to create blockchain applications without learning a new programming language. Since it uses JavaScript, it's the most used programming language, there is. So that's really helpful. One of the ways I learn is by experimenting. And for the hackathon, I've created Real Invaders. It's a slot machine. Let's go back. It's a slot machine with a retro twist. The front end is built with Lisk elements and JavaScript, and the backend is built with the Lisk SDK and TypeScript. So what you see here is actually a representation of what happens on the chain. So having games on the blockchain comes with several benefits. It's open, tokens can be bought and sold on exchanges. It's global, there are no boundaries. So everywhere there's internet access, you can play the game. Also, the logic is determined on the chain, and as the code is online, everybody can check it out. Also, the rules are the same for everyone. So the code is available online on GitHub, so hopefully it will also inspire other developers to try out Lisk. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacco. And now we move on to the last award of the night. And that is the first place for GameFi. So let's do it. Now, to take home $10,000 also paid in Lisk tokens, you guessed it correctly, that is Dungeons and Battles. Congratulations, Lemon. And now, before we give you a glimpse into what the future holds for Lisk, we would like to share with you our biggest and most recent achievements. And so for that, I welcome Max on stage to talk about Lisk in retrospect.
Thank you, Miguel. So we saw quite a few, proof of concept blockchain applications as part of Hack on Lisk 2. And the choice was obvious. That's why some applications won multiple prizes, because they were just so good. There were also some insider jokes hidden in some of the names of these apps. So if you're well familiar with the Lisk community, you might be aware. Before we saw blockchain applications intending to go into production. So this is the first event actually where we did that. Proof of concepts, we showed this year already at Lisk.js. And I can't wait to see where we are in 1 year's time, what kind of applications we are showing then. So can't wait for that. But 2021 was a very important year for the Lisk project. And why, I'm going to explain you now. So for that, I would like to open our roadmap, which shows all the different phases we went through from beginning 2016 to today and the future. For that, we depicted gemstone names, as you might be aware already, because, the first logo of Lisk was kind of it looked like a World of Warcraft gem, and we received a lot of hate, but also a lot of love for that. I love it personally. And that's why we said, okay, the roadmap phases have to be gemstones as well. Beginning with Quartz back in 2016, where we just like launched the network, and Amber then stabilized it. And during that time, well, it took us 1 year to set up the Lisk Foundation. And then the second year, we started hiring in 2017, and that took also quite a while. But then with Ruby, we released the Lisk SDK. That's where everything really began for developers for the Lisk project. And well, it took another phase, Emerald, this year, to really get to a stage where we can stand on the stage and say, okay, we are now soon launching the Lisk blockchain application platform. That's why this year was so important for us, because we released this Lisk version 3 version coming with all the features of the Emerald phase. Go to our website to see what was in there. But that's all history. And I'm super excited to see what we're doing next year. And that's where Shu, Manu, and Jan will tell you more about that. But before we go into that, I would like to just show you a few main achievements of this year, which are that we completed the Lisk interoperability solution research, which provides a new interoperability standard for the blockchain industry. We migrated, like I just said, Lisk to version 3, which comes with a big amount of protocol improvements and sets the stage for us to work on Lisk interoperability. And we organized, as we just saw, Hack on Lisk 2, but before that also Hack on Lisk, Lisk.js in May, and today AmpliFire. So I would like to guide you through 3 different kinds of statistics before we are looking into the future. First one are some development statistics. That's something we always hailed for as a project, that our research and development is leading. We implemented this year 29 LIPs, Lisk improvement proposals, somewhat of like research pieces which introduce either protocol improvements, new features, etc., to Lisk. And we implemented 29 as part of Lisk version 3, but we also published new ones, and that was for the Lisk interoperability solution. That's 25. And I threw like our GitHub organization and repositories in some statistic tool, and it says also that we had over 9,500 commits. That means development contributions this year alone. So this really puts us at the forefront of blockchain development, and I'm really proud to be able to say that. Next one is the marketing statistics. We finally reached 200,000 followers on Twitter, so super proud about that. We had this image with the number 200,000 for quite some time already, but then it went down again, but we did it now. And published over 70 blog posts and had 4 grant program participants we saw today, and really looking forward to see where we stand in 1 year with that. Something new we introduced this year is to actually start doing things with our token as well. This event today sets the stage to also attract users into our platform, and we saw the need that we need to also contribute a little bit more focus to the token and to the investor. However, Lisk is Lisk, and we're always doing things with a special like extra. And that's where we introduced a buyback program where we are buying back LSK tokens from the market, but not to pump the price or anything like that. We're doing that in order to acquire a new LSK token with a purpose, the purpose to build our blockchain application ecosystem, to incentivize developers to build with the Lisk SDK. And that's actually the fund for the Lisk Grant Program. With Lisk version 3, we also got a new consensus algorithm, which allows you to lock tokens when you want to stake them. And currently, there are around 23 million LSK tokens locked. So also quite a big milestone achieved there. And as part of Lisk version 3, we're also introducing burning as part of sending transactions. It has a very theoretical background, but it's just important that it's there. And there we burned in the last few months 1,500 Lisk. So we see like quite a big movement with the LSK tokens is happening, and can't wait to see when we actually have like a lot, like millions of transactions on the whole Lisk platform every day to see how these numbers look like then. All right, let's take a look at 2022. But first, I would like to welcome Miguel back to the stage.
All right, thank you, Max. As Max just said, we'll now look into the research and development for Lisk in 2022. And for that, first up is Shu, head of SDK development, will take the stage now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shusetsu Toda. I'm a head of SDK development here at Lisk. So today, I'm going to present our plan for 2022. As Max explained, this year was a very challenging and successful year for us. We released SDK version 5. And next year will be also a very challenging but very exciting year for us. And next year, in Q2, we are planning to release our first beta version for SDK version 6, which includes the interoperability feature. We want to release this beta version as soon as possible so that community member can try out our interoperability and prepare for the mainnet release. After releasing, we want to carefully test together with community member internally, and we are targeting to finish the security audit by Q3, and finally aiming to release SDK version 6 at the end of the year. And what is SDK version 6? The main feature of the SDK version 6 is interoperability. Interoperability enables blockchain to send token from one chain to another. It enables enevti to be on one chain to another. In fact, we can transfer any data from one chain to another within the ecosystem. Additionally, we are on version 6 planning to implement more modules. We are planning to implement proof of authority, which replaces our current delegated proof of stake system. And this is especially useful for the smaller projects. Additionally, we are planning to implement NFT modules, which will enable developer to just introduce this NFT module and easily build the NFT platform. And if one chain or another supports this NFT module, it will be natively support or transfer NFT to another chain. This is more for developers, but also we are improving our framework. We have more powerful framework, which stores any key value data into the system. We can now write more data into the block. It's more modular and more consistent on the terminology and concept so that developers are easy to understand the concept. That's it for me. Now I'm going to introduce my colleague Manu, who will tell more about platform products.
Thank you, Shu. Good evening, everyone. My name is Manu. I'm the head of platform development at Lisk. Today, I'm going to give you an update on the Lisk platform release plans for 2022 and also talk about some announcements. So in the Q1, we're going to do the development for the Lisk platform to support the interoperability. And in Q2, we're aiming for the beta launch so that the user can use the platform to develop their interoperable blockchain applications. And in Q3, we're aiming for the security audit. And in Q4, the Lisk platform will be launched. So with the launch of Lisk platform, the developers and user can build their blockchain application, like you saw enevti, collectibles, DoEdu, and many other blockchain applications to be able to interact. And as my colleague Shu was saying, the users will be able to transfer the NFT tokens or any types of data within the blockchain or across the blockchain. And this is only possible with the launch of the Lisk platform in 2022. So I would like to give you a preview of how the Lisk platform would look like. So here you can see a list of blockchain application. For example, Colecti enevti, DoEdu, or Kalipo. So the developers can register their blockchain applications similar to these applications, and then the users can use the blockchain application, manage them, and the validators can govern these blockchain applications, and the users can explore all of these blockchain applications. So I've been thinking an example to explain how a normal user or anyone around the world could understand how it would work like. So imagine a sovereign nation like United States with having multiple states. Each of the states has their own tax laws, they have their own governance rules. However, as a nation, they're all united by the country, nation, United States. So similarly, Lisk will provide the security guarantees and then provide the platform to interact and interoperate within this platform. So moving on from that, so I would like to make some quick 3 announcements. So we are reintroducing Lisk Mobile 2.0 with support for Lisk Core v3. So now users can access their tokens via Lisk Mobile. As you can see, we have a new redesigned for the Lisk Mobile 2.0. The beta will be available in Christmas this year, and then we're releasing the production version in January. So we're also bringing back the Ledger hardware wallet support for the Lisk desktop, so that user can use their tokens, and then the firmware is under review. Now developers and users can use the desktop with the developer mode with Lisk Desktop 2.2.0 release. We're aiming for the beta release in December and the production release in January. So we are also integrating Lisk with Rosetta. So what is Rosetta? Rosetta is a standard API framework developed by Coinbase. So this allows the blockchain application to easily get listed in the exchanges. So we're building this framework, which will be part of the Lisk core, and then the blockchain application developers can, in the future, list their applications smoothly. So that's the main aim. So with that, I would like to end my talk and then invite my colleague Jan to give you an update on the research.
Thank you, Manu. Hello, everyone. My name is Jan, and I work as head of research on the Lisk project. Today, I'm very happy to share with you the research plans for 2022. Let's first see where we are right now. This year, with the research team, we were focusing on the Sapphire phase research topics. The main topic here was Lisk interoperability. As Max already mentioned, overall this year we published 25 Lisk improvement proposals. Those are specification documents that completely defined the interoperability solution and are the basis for the implementation. At this point, I also want to really thank the whole research team and everyone involved in the reviews and writing these proposals for the hard work that went into all these 25 improvement proposals. Now, next year is all about the diamond phase and the diamond phase research topics. At Lisk.js this year, I already announced 4 main research topics for the diamond phase. The main one being Lisk bridges, which is about building bridges to other platforms, because the main objective of the diamond phase is building bridges to other ecosystems. But then I also announced 3 other research topics: reducing the time to finality, generalizing the transaction fee system, and relayer incentivization. Today, I want to announce 2 additional research topics for the diamond phase. The first one is the reward sharing mechanism, and the second one, direct sidechain channels. For the remainder of my talk, I now want to go over these 6 research topics and give you an idea what we will be working on. For the first 4 ones, I just want to cover them very briefly. If you want to know more in detail about them, please check out the Lisk.js talk, where we provide quite a bit more detail on them. So the first one is Lisk bridges, which is the most important research topic of the diamond phase. And this topic is about building bridges from the Lisk platform to other platforms. And this way, Lisk users will benefit from tokens and functionality of other ecosystems and vice versa. So imagine you can use ERC20 tokens in Lisk, for example. Then the other 3 research topics that were already announced at Lisk.js. The first one was about reducing the time to finality. So the goal here is to reduce the time to finality to just at most 20 seconds, because this will enable a lot faster interoperability. As you maybe know, currently on Lisk mainnet, it takes around 20 seconds in expectation until a block is finalized from the time it has been generated. So with this research topic, we really want to bring down this time to finality drastically and thereby facilitate a lot faster interoperability. Then secondly, we announced the relayer incentivization. So this is about incentivizing information relay between different blockchains in the Lisk ecosystem. So relayers will be the entities that facilitate interoperability because they are the ones that take information that is sent by one blockchain and send it or insert it with the transaction into another blockchain. And here the goal is to develop a good and fair incentivization mechanism for these relayers. And then thirdly, we want to work on generalizing the transaction fee system. So currently, transaction fees are based on the byte size of transactions. And here we want to develop a more flexible transaction system, which also allows to define transaction fees based on the computation cost or the storage space that is required for processing the transactions. So these were all the topics that were already announced at Lisk.js. Now I want to come to the 2 new research topics. The first one is the reward sharing mechanism. So currently on Lisk mainnet, we have the delegates that can generate new blocks, and for their work they receive block rewards, 1 Lisk per block. And then the delegates, or some delegates, choose to share some of these rewards with their voters. And they do this manually by sending a lot of transactions and thereby sending the shared rewards to their voters. And here, as part of this research objective, we now want to include in the protocol a way that these rewards are distributed automatically. So delegates will be able to define how many rewards they want to share, and then the reward distribution just happens automatically. This will have certain benefits for voters. So first of all, the rewards will be guaranteed. And then second of all, you can also easily compare which delegate shares how many rewards, because this information is now part of the blockchain. Then the second new research topic is about direct sidechain channels. So in Lisk's interoperability solution, every sidechain registers on the Lisk main chain, and then by default, all communication happens via the Lisk main chain. So if, for example, in this picture here, 2 sidechains send messages to each other, these messages will be relayed via the Lisk main chain. And the idea here behind this research objective is to also allow direct communication between different sidechains. And the key benefit here will be that you have faster interoperability because this relay step is missing. The communication happens directly. And we also have higher scalability because not all messages have to go via the Lisk main chain. And for many sidechains, they maybe don't even need this feature because they don't have so much communication with just one other sidechain, but maybe just a bit of communication with every other sidechain in the ecosystem. But for certain use cases, in particular if two sidechains have a lot of communication between each other, this solution will offer a lot more flexibility and also just much faster and cheaper transactions between those two sidechains. And overall, this will make the Lisk interoperability solution a lot more powerful. So this is all from the research team for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jan. So that was it for research and development. So much was done and so much more to look forward to. Now, to disclose for the first time the new strategy for marketing into 2022 and beyond, I welcome back on stage Monica.
Thank you, Miguel. I know some of you are really excited for this presentation, so let me jump into it. So looking back in retrospect, we at Lisk were quietly developing, so basically being fully focused on building the product. So research and development, as you heard already, we were always here developing, presenting the achievements, and then developing further. So as you heard from Shu, Manu, and Jan, 2022, I would say, is the year for Lisk. The year where the Lisk platform will be launched, as when all the hard work that was done so far should be presented to the world. And I think it should be presented loudly. So we are proud of what we achieved so far. Therefore, in 2022, Lisk marketing is going to be louder than ever. So we aim to make Lisk the most accessible blockchain application platform. This is the vision you probably heard already. Later on, Max is going to tell you more about the goals to achieve this vision. In marketing, we will strive to reach these goals. Now, about target audiences. Until now, we always talked about developers, JavaScript developers, as you heard already. So we constantly targeted developers through events, website, within the community, through the documentation. So we know how important it is to basically onboard developers that can build blockchain applications with the Lisk SDK to inspire them, and most importantly, to talk further to other developers. Of course, we still aim to attract developers to build those blockchain applications. You saw already really great applications built with Lisk. But we are very much aware that without users, our ecosystem cannot be complete. Therefore, in 2022, Lisk marketing will not only target developers, but also users. So you probably ask yourself, who are these users? Users we call blockchain enthusiasts, like all of you probably, investors and users of the blockchain application platform. With that in mind, our target audience focus has now changed. Therefore, we also have to make some adjustments in our marketing efforts. So in 2022, as I said, we really want to be loud. We want to improve our messaging on all channels. We want to increase the brand awareness to basically put Lisk everywhere. We want to increase the developer and the user outreach. So let's jump into messaging. We all know how important our messaging is. We want to easily onboard developers and users into our ecosystem. So to showcase what Lisk is all about and why Lisk. For that reason, we decided to rethink and revamp Lisk website So for the first announcement of my presentation, I want to let you know that by Lisk.js 2022, we would like to launch a user-focused Lisk.com, a fresh, cool, more vibrant and bold user-focused Lisk.com. Of course, we cannot talk about the website if we don't talk about content. So after intense Lisk messaging workshops, together with Waxman here and tonight, we created a new content strategy for 2022. And this content strategy will be easy to understand. We will have more video content, more infographics, and a knowledge base, an educational platform fully dedicated to Lisk, to explain everything about Lisk, its products, terminology, concept, and much more. So in 2022, we are going to launch a Lisk knowledge base on our website. Besides the improved messaging, we all know how important the brand awareness is. Therefore, in 2022, we really want to use all the channels we have and all means to make Lisk more visible in the industry, and not only. We all recognize that social media is very important for Lisk to establish itself as a brand. Therefore, we plan to have targeted posts for each social media channel. And these posts will be tailored to the right audience. We will use those social media channels, as you see here, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Discord, Reddit. We will not cross-post our achievements anymore. We will have a new standard. We will also want to improve our activity on Reddit, which we all know how important it is for the crypto space. Having that said, I'm happy to personally bring you something very exciting. Next year, we are going to explore TikTok, a new social media channel, and we are going to improve our activity on Telegram. We don't stop here. We have prepared something very cool, and I'm sure you will love it. Lisk-branded Twitter emoji. Another great effort by our marketing team. Lisk-branded Twitter emoji, available early in 2022, means emojis displayed on Twitter after specific Lisk hashtags. I'm very excited for this one, personally. Now, a lot of these efforts require resources. And in 2022, we want to do our best. Therefore, we decided to get support, professional support. And therefore, we partner with Ninja Promo. Ninja Promo is a full-stack blockchain marketing and PR agency. They are going to help us with marketing consulting, general messaging, social media management, community management, sponsored content, display ads, and most importantly, influencer marketing. Everything that you were all asking for. Ninja Promo is #1 ICO marketing agency in 2021, #1 cryptocurrency marketing agency, #1 NFT marketing agency. They are known to be #1. They have worked with big names in the industry, and it became clear to us that they are the right fit for Lisk as well. I'm very excited to work with them in 2022 and beyond. We are going to work closely together with Ninja Promo, as I just mentioned, to make sure that Lisk is everywhere. We will make sure that you will hear about Lisk, not only on the media outlets that you are all used to, or industry-specific platforms, but you will also hear about Lisk from your favorite Twitter and YouTube influencer. So stay tuned for that. Now, as always, we will keep our goal to increase the developer outreach, to attract as many JavaScript developers as possible in the Lisk ecosystem. We know how important it is to have the right people to build blockchain applications and to basically build the whole ecosystem. What are we going to do to attract developers? So we will continue to organize and attend events as we did before. We will be hosting workshops and tutorials. We will be hosting hackathons, as you heard already, to allow developers to play around with our product and to create basically programs to incentivize them to build blockchain applications or to actually have their own startups. Another announcement from me, Lisk.js 2022. It will take place in May. I'm very excited for this one, especially because it will be bigger than ever, on a bigger venue, much more interactive sessions. Super excited to have you all there. Next year, we don't want to shine away, so we really want to make it big, a bigger audience, and a more shiny venue. And you will ask why. At Lisk.js 2022, we will be seeing the first demo of Lisk interoperability, and we will be showcasing blockchain applications built with the Lisk SDK as part of the hackathons or the grant program. And we will also be announcing several exciting things. Another important event to look forward to is the Lisk platform launch event, also happening in 2022. The launch of the Lisk platform deserves a dedicated event, professional, bold, to celebrate the biggest achievement of Lisk and to show the world how the future for Lisk will be. We plan presentations tailored to developers, but also users, workshops and interactive sessions. We really want to show the world why Lisk is the most accessible blockchain application platform. With the goal of reaching more developers and growing our developer community, I would like to announce our next two online hackathons, Hack on Lisk 3 and Hack on Lisk 4, both happening next year. They will have an increased budget, they will have an increased promotion, also using our new partners, and I'm pretty sure we will see really exciting blockchain applications built with the Lisk SDK. As we want to reach more and more developers, we decided to finally officially partner with We Are Developers as the biggest developer conference organizer in Europe, and I would say one of the biggest developer community out there. We will not only attend and speak at their conferences, the We Are Developers World Congress, JavaScript conference, but we will also organize together Blockchain Day at Lisk Center Berlin. We will also organize and host workshops. We will also create together with them tutorials for developers to easily get started and much more. So stay tuned for that. Now, something that is really exciting for me, but also for all of you in the community, is to officially announce that we bring back the Lisk Ambassador Program. Super excited for this. We had several ambassadors in the past. We still have them in the community, but now we want to make it official again. This time it will be bigger, more diverse, and inclusive. So basically, we will incentivize community members to not only spread the word through meetups or attend conferences or presentations in the universities, but also be part of competitions or do several tasks within the community, all with the goal to attract more community members. So stay tuned. In May 2022 at Lisk.js, we are going to announce the new Lisk Ambassador Program. Speaking about programs, we are currently running the Lisk Grant Program. As you already heard, it's a program dedicated to developers. We incentivize startups to build their own blockchain applications. For this grant program, we allocated $1.3 million to support blockchain applications and startups. At Lisk.js 2022, we will be announcing all the details of the improved developer program, the Lisk Developer Program, which will not only support developers to build blockchain applications, but they can also build plugins, modules, and all of that. So stay tuned to find all the details at Lisk.js 2022. As I mentioned before, in 2022, next year, we are going to shift our focus from developers to developers and users. Users, blockchain enthusiasts, investors, users of our blockchain application platform. So let me walk you through our plans to reach more users and basically to grow our user community. In order to attract more users, we are going to sponsor and attend conferences, to run contests within the community. You already saw some of them probably. And of course, outside the community. Not only within the Lisk community, but we really want to go outside our space. We will run marketing campaigns with prestigious exchanges. Soon you will know more about that. And basically, we will improve our overall accessibility. All of this just with the goal to attract and to onboard users into our ecosystem. Now, looking at conferences, it's not a surprise that Lisk is going to be to the biggest blockchain conferences, speaking, attending, sponsoring. In 2022, we plan to increase our attendance rate. So we are not only going to be present at crypto conferences, as you see on the slide, but also diverse tech conferences to make sure that we increase our user outreach from outside the crypto space. The announcement I am the most excited for is the partnership with DepRaider. Probably some of you already know. DepRaider is the #1 world step store. It's a platform basically housing data about all the relevant decentralized blockchain applications. This long-term collaboration with DepRaider consists in a series of marketing campaigns to ensure an increased user outreach. But besides that, DepRaider is going to fully integrate Lisk on their platform. Already included in their roadmap, Lisk is going to be integrated, and it will be available together with the Lisk interoperability next year. So wouldn't it be exciting to see Lisk between all these names, between all the other prestigious projects? Well, in 2022, developers will be able to submit their blockchain applications on Lisk or build with Lisk and showcase the amount of users they have, the traction, the activity, the volume, and the performance of their own app. So this is a great opportunity for Lisk to showcase the apps that are available and built with Lisk, and of course, the user base. Very excited for this one, so stay tuned. As I mentioned before, we are going to run several marketing campaigns with exchanges, and one of them is Binance. So we are not only grateful that we have here Roy supporting us as a judge in the Hack on Lisk too, but we are also going to collaborate with Binance on a long-term collaboration in terms of the educational content. So in 2022, we are going to run several campaigns, teaching basically users about Lisk, but also running competition to get them engaged. All of this, of course, would not be possible with the continuous support of our friends and partners from Wexman. Thank you for being here tonight, and of course, thank you very much for your help. And stay tuned, we really promise that you will hear about Lisk everywhere. Now, Lisk without the Lisk community, without the Lisk army, without the Lisk community squad, the moderators and every of you would not be Lisk what it is today. So we really want to keep giving our community every resource needed to spread the word about Lisk and to basically make Lisk a success. So therefore, I want to announce something very cool. Will be the Lisk merchandise store. In 2022, we are going to launch our very own merchandise store. So together with our core community members here also in the venue, we are going to make this happen. And next year, you will be able to buy your favorite Lisk merchandise item, and of course, to proudly show your friends. Just a sneak peek of how the merchandise store would look like. There would be cooler items and great designs, and all of them directly available for you to order. We know you all love competitions. We saw your engagement, and we want to keep doing them. We hear you, and of course, we want to make them happen. As you know, we started the monthly Lisk Army contest, a competition that allows community members to perform several tasks, and we will be running this contest every month. Next to that, we are planning several giveaways and competitions, such as the ongoing one with Ledger that I mentioned in the beginning. We know how much you love memes, so we will keep on running the meme contest on all our channels. We love your memes, and we want to keep rewarding them. So stay tuned for cool and fun competitions to come. Let me summarize all the marketing announcements I just made. In 2022, we will launch a user-focused Lisk.com website with a Lisk knowledge base. We are going to explore TikTok as a new social media channel, and we are going to be present and more active on Telegram. We will have a Lisk-branded Twitter emoji. We are going to have a big, bold Lisk.js 2022. We are going to host the Lisk platform launch event. We are going to host 2 online hackathons, Hack on Lisk 3 and Hack on Lisk 4. We are going to bring back the Lisk Ambassador program. We are going to improve the current grant program into the Lisk Developer program, and we are going to launch a Lisk merchandise store. In terms of partnerships and collaborations, we are going to partner with Ninja Promo, as I said, with We Are Developers, DebRaider, Waxman, and Binance. Now you probably ask, how is it possible to make all of these happen? And of course, we need to be strong and loud. And for that, of course, we need more budget. Therefore, in 2022, we allocated a 5 times increased budget to make all these things happen. And of course, the financial resources are not enough. What we need? Human resources. For that, I would like to invite the Lisk marketing team on stage. If you are already part of the community, you probably know these 3 marketeers. We have Dimitri, our talented designer. We have a new team member, Mihao, marketing manager, currently tweeting. And we have Miguel, our community and communication star. In 2022, we plan to increase the marketing team size with 10 more new members. And why is that? Because we really want Lisk to be everywhere, and we want to make all these great things happen. So I would say, let's get loud in 2022. Thank you.
Super excited. I'm personally very happy to be part of the team. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, I would like to welcome back on stage Lisk CEO and co-founder Max Kordek to talk about the ultimate vision for the project.
Thank you. I promise it's the last time I'm going to be on stage tonight. Yeah, can't wait to see much more marketing in 2022 with a much bigger team, bigger budget, and a year's long, so that was definitely not everything what is coming next year. There is more around the corner. All right, for the last talk of tonight, I would like to talk about the ultimate Lisk vision. And today we already saw why blockchain technology, blockchain applications are important as part of a metaverse maybe. It's one theory which exists, which evolves into a kind of like new future reality. And I gave you an explanation what kind of role Lisk plays in that. To summarize, Lisk enables developers to develop and users to use scalable and interoperable blockchain applications. But what is the ultimate vision for Lisk? Well, Monica stole a little bit my show there already, but it hasn't changed. The vision stands. The vision should never change, of course. This is what we're working on since 2016, to be the most accessible blockchain application platform in the world. This is what drives us daily. However, now a few things are changing, of course. We're moving from, how I called it in the initial video, the building phase into a production or production-ready phase. And that means we can not only talk to developers, but also talk to users, to people who really will benefit from blockchain technology. Quickly, a little bit about the developer. So for developers, we're essentially providing access to blockchain application development. You heard a lot about that already with our Lisk SDK, which provides all the tools required to do so. I don't need to go into much more detail here. We heard a lot already. However, we have a goal. We have a goal for the Lisk SDK. And some in the team said, well, actually, we already achieved that. We have bigger ambitions even, but if we're achieving that, well, we also have to maintain that. And the goal for the Lisk SDK is to be the industry standard for JavaScript blockchain application development. That's our goal we're working on every day. If we're talking about the user, then we're providing access to blockchain applications. And how? You know it already with the Lisk platform, which will enable users to benefit from blockchain technology. Again, I don't have to say much here. However, we have a goal there as well. And you heard a number in the initial video, and that was 100 million. And we want to onboard this amount of users into crypto and Web3. We put that in relation with the scalability aspects of our platform because we believe a goal has to be achievable. And this will be measured in addresses on Lisk. And I think that's extremely important for the future of blockchain technology, for the future of this whole industry, that we bring more people into the space who can then really benefit from blockchain technology and use blockchain applications on a daily basis. So we have these two target audiences. And we have the vision to be the most accessible blockchain application platform in the world. But what does it really mean to be accessible? Well, for the developer, it's kind of obvious. We provide access to the Lisk SDK so that they can develop blockchain applications. I think the Lisk SDK is world-class already today. And some of our hackathon participants, grant program participants can probably agree to that. It's written or is using the most accessible programming language, JavaScript. It has great documentation. And with every version, the developer experience dramatically improves. I think Lisk SDK version 6 will set again a new standard there for blockchain application development. But what is with the users? Like I said, it's the ultimate thing to benefit from this tech. This is where the focus should be in the long term at least. And there we're providing, of course, access to blockchain applications with our Lisk platform. However, what does it mean really to provide access? That's where I would like to focus on this part, where we really take a look at what it means to provide access. And in our opinion, access and blockchain accessibility always is somehow in relation to a token. And that's why if we want to be the most accessible platform, we need to provide better access to different kinds of tokens. Because if you're familiar with blockchain applications, you need the token in order to use it. In our platform's case, this can be the Lisk token itself, or it can be any other token of these blockchain applications. And that's where I would like to announce that in order to facilitate better access, we're going to build a fiat on-ramp. One of our strategies will involve to provide better access to the LSK token. This is what we really see as a very important step. Right now, we're in a very tricky situation. We just launched one of the biggest migrations this industry has ever seen, Lisk version 3, and we just see that we are very dependent on exchanges. But we believe that it should be one unified solution where users just can get started with Lisk right away and where we are not at the mercy of exchanges. That's why we built a fiat on-ramp ourselves, where users will be able to buy LSK tokens with fiat currencies right within the wallet. But it doesn't stop there, because the same problem also these blockchain application developers will face. And that's where we will build our first blockchain application, a Lisk DEX. Because really, there's going to be like hundreds of blockchain applications and hundreds of tokens on the platform in the future. And it's already very difficult to get listed on exchanges, and we need to provide them with a native solution there, so that users can use these exchanges to really go from zero to hero, from basically not having any LSK token to owning some, to exchanging or swapping them on the DEX. And we're doing that really to create a path of least resistance to blockchain applications. We believe this is extremely important to make blockchain technology mainstream and to bring in new users into the industry. It's something we experience every day, and we're trying to somehow address also with this event to make it simple. And it's incredibly hard to make blockchain simple. That's where we want to provide better access, at least with these exchanges, to the platform. But there's one case where this is not helping. What if a token is not available on the Lisk platform? Let's say a stablecoin is currently not built on Lisk. And what if a blockchain application might want to use it? For example, on a DEX, the traders want to move their assets into a stablecoin because they think the markets are going down. Or it can be also very interesting in a, let's say, lending blockchain application as collateral. So in some cases, we really want to have more tokens on the Lisk blockchain application platform than which are actually being built on the platform itself. And we talked about that already. That's why we are creating Lisk bridges to other blockchain application and smart contract platforms. Which ones, we don't know yet, but Jan was already giving a short example of where you could use then any ERC20 token on the Lisk platform, and they have multiple stablecoins as this example depicted. And well, that's where we will provide also access to tokens which are actually not native to our platform, because we think any token or every token has a use case, and we all want to gather them into our platform. So we're imagining a user flow similar to that. You just download the app, let's say on your smartphone, you register an account, and then you need to get access to the LSK token. That's where you verify your account at a payment method and then use our fiat on-ramp. Maybe if you need a token from a blockchain application in order to use it, you want to now swap your LSK for this blockchain application token or pull it from another ecosystem onto the Lisk platform. And then, well, you can just connect your user interface of the blockchain application to the wallet and start using the blockchain application. Currently, it's already a bit visible how that would work with Lisk Scan, where you can claim NFTs and where you just sign the transaction then on Lisk desktop. And, well, it will be similar to that, but better, because then we are focusing on making it better. And we're doing all of that, which is a very tough job to do in the coming years, with an expanded team. We're going to build out our resources there to over 80 people, including the Lisk Foundation team members and our contractors like Lightcurve, Wexman, Ninja Promo, and so on. And this is all possible only because of the Lisk Foundation and its great financial resources. We have a lot of capital, and we now want to start using that. However, the capital is in Bitcoin. And we want to cover our expenses until 2025 in order to not be vulnerable to market volatility. And that's where we say, okay, 1,000 Bitcoin we're keeping for now as a long-term reserve, but 620 Bitcoin we're going to liquidate. 4% into fiat to pay for short-term expenses, and 66% into stablecoins, where we can, due to the platform we're using, BlockFi, earn a passive yield, which can be then again be used to buy back LSK tokens in order to make the next Lisk developer program even bigger. So there will be more funds, more yield, and that's where the grants can also become bigger. However, this liquidation will not happen now. It will happen over the coming months. As a foundation, we need to liquidate our funds slowly over time to not be exposed to this volatility and certain risks. But we cannot just keep selling our Bitcoin forever. And that's where we are referring to these new projects we are starting, the exchanges and the bridges, where we really want to start establishing revenue streams. Because, well, in the video you saw, I love my life because I'm working on this amazing project, and I'm working on it now since, well, 7 years. I'm 29 now, that's 25% of my life. But I want to work on it for the next 10 years. I would also like to work on it maybe for the next 100 years, or maybe someone else works on it when I'm not even there anymore. And that's where these revenue streams will become extremely important. We want to become a sustainable project, something which we also set as our goal. We don't want to just be a hype coin, pump and dump, or whatever. We want to be in this industry for a very long time and build something which will benefit people. So that refers all back to be the most accessible blockchain application platform in the world. We want to become the industry standard in JavaScript blockchain application development. We want to onboard 100 million people into crypto and Web3, and we want to become sustainable. That was my talk. That was AmpliFire, with many exciting announcements from Monica, new partners, much more to come there also next year. I explained the case of Lisk and just went into the ultimate vision for the project, as well as our developers and researchers explained a little bit more what the timeline is for 2022 and what we can expect in the coming year and years. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are as excited as I am about the future of Lisk. Thank you and goodbye.